So what does hiding want?
Hiding wants to be protected, but isn't very healthy. Not it's yeah. It protects me so much that it stops me. So it's almost a bit like those constricted energy, which I was talking about. So it's constricting me through fear, really, you know, hiding and fear. And I've done blue, which is cold, but it doesn't feel that cold, actually. It feels like it's not warm, but, you know, it's not super cool. You know, it's not super cold. It just feels like it's a constricted, dark place where I can't see out much. Although it's not a, yeah, I think there's fear there, but not deep fear. I think there's just a fear.
Okay. So what I'm going to suggest is that we have a break, because I think you probably need to do a big picture of that.
Okay.
To actually work on that, because it feels as though that's kind of come out and we've now moved on to a different place. So tell me the story of hiding.
That it's hiding. It's got a nose, so it can smell and it can see. And the black bits, especially in the middle, are almost like armor that they to protect somehow. There's that need for protection.
So the black in the middle is armor and need to protection, and it's got a nose so that it can smell.
Yeah.
And what is that nose wanting to smell?
Trouble. Things that are not right. To make sure the place is safe. And when I look at the eye, it's almost like something in that eye can see at the back. So as well as seeing in front, that eye looks like it's looking behind as well, watching its back.
So there's an eye, there's a nose that can smell trouble, and it can sniff out things, and it knows when things are not right, and it's got an eye that can see behind as well as in front.
Yes, yeah. I hadn't thought about it, but I almost see it as like an embryo, you know, that's very, very young.
A very, very young and an embryo. And what would an embryo that's very, very young, that's able to smell and to see in front and behind and to the sides, what would it need in order to grow and develop?
People to look after it, a structure, warmth, food. I suppose somehow not it having to be on hyper alert, really, because I'm just thinking that eye is just going everywhere, you know, that just to relax, you know, just to say, you know, that I'm an embryo and, you know, I'm doing my best. And
an embryo that's doing its best, and it's got an eye that needs to relax. So what does the eye need in order to be able to relax? And is that eye the same as the all-seeing eye, or is it a different kind of eye? As in,
when I'm looking at it again, it almost could look like it's an island, the middle of the eye, and that if the middle of the eye could swim to the shore, I wonder if things might look differently, might look in a different way.
So could you add that swimming to the shore and see what happens?
Okay.
Oh, right.
So the person swam and there's a lot of greenery there.
There's a lot of greenery and there's the, oh, right. So then what happens?
That it's quite pleasant on the other side. You know, there is a bit of grass, there is a bit of sun. There's a part that there needs to be more softening, that, you know, a bit more understanding and acceptance. And I'm wondering, in that softening, because I've the eye is softened, that the environment has softened with the orange, that it's like a tongue and it's sucking that up somehow.
And it's sucking up that up. And what is that it's sucking up?
Well, I've just realised what it's sucking up. It's sucking up the armour, isn't it? That's with my armour.
Yeah.
So yeah, my picture's telling me I need to get rid of my sucking it up, or
so what would have to happen to the armour visually for you to recognise that you'd sucked it up and that it was no longer necessary?
It needs to go. It's not needed. And just by, you know, literally the expression, you know, suck it up, you know, that sometimes I need to just suck it up, really.
What would need to happen to that armour now
to
show you that you'd sucked it up?
And actually, as I've started to do that, the orange and blue a bit gone like green, really. Green and brown, so it's an island. So it has gone and it's there, really.
And it's gone and it's an island.
Yeah.
And what does hidden know now about self-sabotage?
That
those two images together.
That I've got the energy there. The energy's there. The frustration can help as well. The energy can be linked to the frustration. And together they can get stronger, and I just have to go with it and not hide, or because it's not like I trip up, because it's almost deliberate what I'm doing, you know. It's not that what is looking at the pictures is that they're making connections. Both pictures have made really strong connections, and that's been helpful. So it's making those connections together. And when I created me in the picture, I initially said, oh, it's me, I'm separated. And then I realized it was me hiding. And I think me separated, it wasn't me that was separated. It was my emotions, frustrations, and I let it dissipate. And I suppose dissipate goes disappear. So rather than making connections and carrying on to whatever I'm doing, I let things disappear and dissipate. And actually, when I look at it at the end, I hadn't really registered, but where the island is, it's almost like it's a bit like, you know, a rocket when they've got the sort of energy.